Okay, cool. All right, sure. Thank you, Farah. All right. So, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, good evening. Thank you, Farah, for the introduction. My name is Sinan Ismail, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Digital Durian. Right, so I want to keep this a little bit interactive. Just answer yes or no if you've heard of DDM Friends and Omar and Hana before. Kalau pernah, say yes. If no, just say no. At the chat. So let's see. Yes, yes, no, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay lah. All right. No. Yes, 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 no. Yes, no, no. Wow. Interesting. Okay, cool. Okay, you can stop now. Thanks for the feedback. So we kind of like have a mix. Through the feedback, there's probably 70% who say yes, 30% say no, which means I need to do more marketing. You don't know what we do. So let me introduce myself. I'm going to share a screen. And while I do that, can you answer another question? Are you all in the first year, second year, or third year, or are you already finished university? So I just want to understand the audience. Can you do that? Final year, fresh grad, second year, finish. Okay, all right, you can stop. Thank you for the feedback again. Very interesting to get feedback from everybody. And yes, if you have any questions, you can put it into the Q&A, right? So let me start. Get this right. Okay, so my name is Sinan Ismail. Again, I'm the CEO co-founder of Digital Durian. You can add me on LinkedIn. You can search for Sinan Ismail, or you can go to Sinan Ismail _DD on Instagram. I'm more active on LinkedIn, to be honest. Okay, so Digital Durian, the first thing I want to tell you is we do not sell durians. Yeah, so we're actually an animation company. So don't get us wrong there. Okay, give me another second. Is the screen still full screen for you guys? Is the chat screen full screen? Yes or no?
No.
Is it big enough?
Yes, we can still see it.
Okay lah, boleh lah. Right. But when I put it full screen, I cannot see the chat. So, tak syok juga, tak nak interaction. Alright, so let me continue. At Digital Durian, we do not sell durians. We're actually an animation company. And what we actually do is we make people happy. And so this is the team. Now there's 120 to 130 of us in the company. And that's what we do. We make people happy. It's not just the fans. We make our partners happy. We make the team members happy. The parents happy. So if you want to be in a happy company, work in a happy place, maybe you want to apply at Digital Durian. Marketing skill. Okay. So next, is the sound okay? Somebody says the sound isn't that good. All right, I'll just continue first. Okay, so let me do a little introduction about Digital Durian, what we do. The first cartoon we have is called DDM Friends. It's a fun and musical cartoon for young children. We have 3.6 million subscribers now. This is an old slide. We have 2.6 billion views on YouTube, right? Just so you understand what we do. And we won Juara Asia Television Awards. That's not me, by the way. That's not my brother also. That's Zizan. He took the award for us because it was in the Philippines for the best preschool cartoon in Asia. So Alhamdulillah for that. We also treat animation not just like a cartoon, it's actually a business. So when you have an IP, which is a cartoon, we actually convert it into many products. So you have more than 800 products for DDM Friends, and so much stuff is happening. And we have a second cartoon called Omar and Hana. And this is an Islamic series for young children. The reach is pretty good. For Omarana, we have 2.9 million subscribers and more than 1 billion views. In English, we actually have now 400,000 subscribers. Yeah, and it's growing globally. And just like the Damn Friends, we all have product sponsorships. We've signed with Nilofa before, with Siti Khadija, with Siti Nahaliza, with quite a few good brands and partnerships. Okay? I don't know too much about what we do, but just for you to know who I am and what my company does, so it will help you to understand the business, right? So this is me with the YouTube silver button and the YouTube gold button. The entrepreneurship can also be in the form of YouTube, and there's a lot of YouTubers now growing, and that could also be a business. And if you've heard of Mengantuknya Mumia, if you haven't, please YouTube it after this. It's a viral song, almost 50 million views now. We have a newer one called Lapanya Mumia. You can also Google that. Okay, so that's about the company, and I don't want to go too long there. So I was told to share this topic, entrepreneurship as a career choice. So I want you to take some notes if you can, but the most importantly, I want you to write down this question somewhere. Right? How do you create value for people? Right? What is business all about? What is entrepreneurship all about? So I want to share a little bit about my journey as a human being, as Sinan Ismail, and let's see where I go, where the story goes, right? So this is a picture of my parents. Both of them were lecturers before. And how did they create value for people? Of course, it's by giving education. Yeah, they gave education in the form of classroom, but we did it in a different way. So this is me when I was younger, much younger, I guess. And I graduated from USM, the School of Mathematics. Yes, I am leading an animation company. I graduated in School of Mathematics, which is something tak berapa nak kena, right? Long story cut short, I don't really like mathematics, to be honest. I applied for computer modeling during my matric days, so I got computer modeling. But actually, I was thrown into computer modeling is actually a course under the School of Mathematics in USM. So I didn't really know about that. But I finished USM in the School of Mathematics. I took multimedia as a minor. But what I want to share here is that some people take a course which they will pursue in their career, some don't, which is fine. The most important thing is the journey. Yeah. So I learned a lot during university. It changed me as a person from a very shy boy here to somebody who could do things and talk and think rationally, think creatively, maybe I would say. And I joined a lot of activities during university, so I think that's very important. So if you're still in the university, please take your time to join all these activities. Of course, get your studies on track too. But I learned a lot through these activities, and I graduated in 2004. So when I graduated, I always had the passion to do animation, right? That was the passion. So what I learned in university didn't stop me. It actually supplemented me with critical thinking of how to solve problems in mathematics. And I chose to be an entrepreneur after 3 years of working. My slides. It's okay. Anyway, I'll just carry on. I chose to become an entrepreneur after 3 years of working. So I worked for 3 different companies before going to entrepreneurship. And I love watching football. And I chose to do animation because I loved Optimus Prime and the Transformers. You can see Optimus Prime somewhere over there. I have another one over here. Yeah, so I'm a big cartoon fan. So I just want to read this quote out. Sinan started a cartoon business so he could watch football and wake up late the next day. This was the reason why I started the business. And luckily that was 11 years ago, right? Because it's not inspiring. It was so about myself. And what I hope for you guys to get after this session is you start to understand that business is not about what you want, which is watching football and waking up late the next day. I learned that the hard way. So I'm sharing with you my journey so you can understand that earlier, and hopefully you don't go through the mistakes which I went as an entrepreneur, right? So again, that was 11 years ago. This was the company that I worked with. And this is the first office which we had. It was actually just a small space behind my brother's office. We only had 2 sofas, 2 tables, and a computer, 2 computers. Yeah. So I'll cut this story short too. But from 2008, from starting Digital Durian, we started to do multimedia first, and then we went up, and then we went down because of maybe we were still early during our days, so we pivoted to do wedding industry. So from 2 people, we grew to 16 people, and then we had to cut down to 8 people. Then we did the wedding industry. We did wedding gifts, wedding videography. Myself, I went to shooting people's weddings. It was a lot of hard work, definitely. Yeah. Working the weekends, working all night until 2012. So in 2012, the wedding business also went down for us. And we kind of like lingkup lah. Yeah? So entrepreneurship is a lot of hard work. But it comes back to the intention, the passion. So again, when the intention wasn't right, it was just for money, it was just for having free time, it was just for myself. That's for me, that's the main reason why I failed during that time. Okay. So in 2012, we were pretty lucky. Yeah, we had a choice, of course, and what to do next. So we opened up DD Animation Studios in Berhad, which is actually Digital Durian. Branding is still Digital Durian, but the company name is DD Animation Studio. And from there, we applied for an MBAC funding. We were very, very lucky to get chosen. And again, dating the story a bit, it was our 3rd time applying. So we actually applied once in 2009. We got rejected. We applied again in 2011. We got rejected in 2012. 3rd time lucky, alhamdulillah. It's not 3rd time lucky, I would say persistence. Always have persistence in what you do. So we got 50,000 ringgit. 4 people in the company. It may sound a lot, but 4 people, 50,000 ringgit when you were 31 years old is not that much. Yep. But alhamdulillah, that got us kick-starting. So I'll share, for those of you who know DD and Friends, and this is like a little bit of how it looks like. So I'll share the DD and Friends journey. Again, I'm sharing this to inspire you, hopefully, and I'll give you tips towards the end of this sharing session, okay? So this is the first version of DD and Friends, which was in 2011. It's not what it looks like now, definitely. I know it's a bit small, so if you read what's over there, it actually says, dari mata turun ke hati, which is very jiwang-ish, right? But this is the starting of DD and Friends. In 2012, it kind of like grew, and we had another friend. And in 2013, when we got the funding, this is what we applied for. We applied using these characters. So in a creative process, even though this is about entrepreneurship, but for me, entrepreneurship is also about being creative. Yeah, so you can take points out of this. So we kind of like added characters to the characters. So over here you can see the characters with the belt and the necklace. Looks better than before. So yes, we got the 50,000 ringgit. We moved into an incubator. Back in 2013, there weren't many incubators or shared space offices around yet. So for you who want to start a business now, there's so much help from the government. There's so much help from startup places, co-working spaces. Use them. So we actually joined the incubator under MDEC. It was just a table of 6 of us then, and we just grew from there, alhamdulillah. So in 2013, with the help of MDEC, again, we pitched to local and international broadcasters. This was actually a picture of, that wasn't me, but I was at Asian Animation Summit. It was in Thailand. And we didn't have much money. I went on my own. The first time I spoke on a stage this big, with audience from all around the world, broadcasters from all around the world. I was so scared in a way, but I think it went pretty well. It kind of felt like Steve Jobs with a big screen behind. It was kind of awesome, to be honest. But what actually happened, even so I said it was great, rejection. A lot of rejection. Yeah, so broadcaster said, okay, they're cute, but ... Oh, I like this, but the eyes are all black. Do something about it. Oh, there was so much feedback. So I'll say this now. I may not say it again, but I'll try to. Please accept feedback as much as possible. Be it you want to become an entrepreneur or you want to be somebody in life. Okay, a lot of us, Malaysians especially, we are very defensive. We are especially entrepreneurs, we thought of an idea. When we share that idea with somebody, you expect people to say, wow, that's a good idea. But no, ideas are not born great. Ideas are born from here and then it progresses with feedback. So always take feedback in, listen to feedback, say thank you to the person who gives you feedback, and you don't need to follow all the feedback. It's just listening to it, taking it in, listing it down, and then rationally choosing. But one of my biggest tips, if you want to become an entrepreneur, please go and learn from people, find a mentor, ask people, get feedback, take in feedback and say thank you. I can't tell you how important this is to become an entrepreneur, okay? So what we did, a lot of feedback that day, we took the feedback in, we said thank you, and we changed DDM Friends to become something like this. Much better than the first version, than the previous version. Not as nice as what it is now, of course, but this is what it is. And part of the feedback was we kind of were rejected from a lot of broadcasters. They said that it's a bit too educational, and we, as an entrepreneur, you need to listen to your surroundings. You need to be aware of opportunities. Yeah. So what I did, alhamdulillah, then was I had a son who was then 1 year old, and we showed a lot of children's songs to him. So I mentioned to you that DDM Friends is a singing cartoon. Yeah. It didn't start like that. It started actually as the Science Explorers. So we were actually a very edutainment cartoon. So after watching my son, watching YouTube, and he was watching Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, he was watching Wheels on the Bus, and in English. And that had 45 million views, 80 million views. I said, wow, this is interesting. And then I looked for lagu kanak-kanak in Bahasa Malaysia. There was Papa Ku Pulang Dari Kota. There was quite a few, but the quality was very 80s, to be honest. It was very 2D, 80-ish. And then I took a little bit more initiative to key in that, to look for data. And I went to Google keywords and actually searched for lagu kanak-kanak, and the data showed us that there were actually 10,000 people searching for lagu kanak-kanak on Google and YouTube every month. And nobody was actually supplying good content to them. So again, as an entrepreneur, look at your surroundings, listen and see. So I had a cartoon which was rejected by broadcasters. I had a son who was watching YouTube, and there wasn't, and no, let me rephrase that. Using data, I found out that a lot of Malaysians were looking for lagu kanak-kanak, but there was nobody supplying it. So I said, hey, with the team, let's marry these two things. You have a cartoon, DDM fans, you have lagu kanak-kanak, let's mix them in. Let's work on YouTube first. It's okay, the broadcasters don't want us. Let's prove to them that this will work. So we set from TV to YouTube. And what happened is when I told people, people said, are you for real? You must be crazy. Broadcasters don't buy preschool content. That's what we got feedback from. YouTube, you're wasting your time. How do you make money on YouTube? And the kinder one said, good luck. Okay. So, but we believed through Google keywords and through research, there was a market. So in May 2014, we launched our YouTube channel. And for your information, YouTube then wasn't that big. I mean, now there's a lot of YouTubers, you can make money on YouTube. There's a lot of people who have succeeded on YouTube. Then, there weren't many. There was almost nobody in Malaysia, actually. So we launched our YouTube channel in May 2014, targeting 1 million views, hopefully within that year. And guess what happened? We actually hit 5.5 million views. Yeah. So it was very interesting, and you can see the graph. Yeah, it went up, and it went up, and it went up. So this happened because of SEO, keywords, having knowledge, having ilmu to actually find, get your way up on the rankings of YouTube. There was a gap, definitely, so we filled in that gap. And back to the question when I asked you earlier, how do you create value for people? We created value by creating a cartoon which has value, which has learning values, which has entertainment value, and people can watch it on YouTube. Yeah. So what happened next is we went from YouTube to TV. Astro came back. We actually contacted Astro. Now actually we are partners with Astro, developing DDM Friends. Again, I want to share about entrepreneurship to you guys. Yeah. Sharing your product doesn't mean it's not good. No. Sharing your product doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Okay? The most important thing is business is cash flow. One of the most important things. Because if you don't have money, cash flow, you cannot live. You cannot pay salaries. You cannot eat. Yeah? So we shared our IP with Astro. They don't have any stake in the company, just on the IP. And Alhamdulillah, until today, we are partners with them. They helped us grow the IP. We're working very closely with them. And so don't be afraid to share your ideas. Don't be afraid to find a partner. If you fail, then it's okay. You can always try again. But while I say it's important to find a partner, I will also say do your due diligence. Make sure that you have the same end goal, the same target, the same values, the same chemistry. So that's also important. Okay. Next, after signing with Astro, you can just see that the graph went up tremendously because we were on Astro Courier. And then we went to the cinemas. So there was not a movie, it was just a series in cinemas. And then we actually did a digital concert in cinemas. Siti Nurhaliza, Tom and Omar and Hannah. It's a very simple project, but it went pretty well. And in 2018, we launched Omar and Hannah. So I won't tell you anything about Omar and Hannah. There's another long story. I'll stop there. But just to share that how Omar and Hannah came up also is because of data. It's also because of listening. So when we did DDI Friends, a lot of parents said, hey, make Didi baca doa, make Didi do teach Islamic things, make Didi pray in a way. But you know that they're chickens. They don't, for non-Muslims, for Muslims you'll understand, they don't have enough sifat to actually pray and wudu, right? So we saw that there was a lot of demand. We did our global research again, and we saw that, oh, actually there's no good Islamic cartoon in the world. Yeah. And as a parent of myself, I also realized that. So we figured out that gap. We created Omar and Hannah. It's doing great in Malaysia. It's doing even better in a way globally. From our YouTube channel, 25% of the views come from US, and another 25% comes from the UK. That's almost 50% of the views. So it's growing, alhamdulillah, tremendously because of identifying that gap, understanding the gap, and also giving value to the audience. So the question is, was it easy? Is entrepreneurship easy? No. And if you want to become an entrepreneur, I'll say that it's a journey. Everything is a journey. Is working easy? No. Even if it's living in your living room doing nothing and playing games for 20 years easy. No, too. I mean, this life is how you see it in perspective, right? So, in my opinion, nothing is easy. Entrepreneurship, of course, has its challenges, but it's if you want to do it, it is a very interesting journey. And life is about having a journey. It's not about the end results, to be honest. The end results are consequences of the journey. So it wasn't easy. It was challenging, but why not? Challenging is fun, right? So entrepreneurship, I'll do my recap. There's a few things. So you can take notes now, and I'll relate this to my journey as much as possible. So the first thing is, you need to understand your value. What is your value as a person? What's your value what value do you want to create? How can you create value for people? Yourself, right? So for me and my partner, Hairul, both of our parents were teachers and lecturers. We always had that want to educate people. So we love 3D animation, we love kind of like education, so that was the value which we had. So we understood that. Yeah. The second thing is not just understanding your value, because if you understand your value, and if that doesn't create value for people, and you want to make it a business, it's not called a business. What is it called? It's called SS, which is short sendiri. And short sendiri means you think you can create value for people, you have value, but what you do doesn't create value for people. Then you cannot make a business out of it. Okay? So you need to create value for people. You need to know what people want, what people need, and you match it with your value, and then people will pay for it. Yeah? Like I mentioned, YouTube is free. People don't pay for the content, but we get revenue through the ads. We also get revenue through sponsorship. We get revenue through merchandising. We get revenue through events. So you need to find what value you want to create for people to become an entrepreneur. Yeah. And just to share, YouTube is now maybe only 30% of our revenues. So 70% of the revenues come outside of YouTube. So if you want to become a YouTuber pun, which is also part of entrepreneurship, don't just think about creating a YouTube channel and making money through the ads. You can make money through brand sponsorships, through influencing, marketing. So there's many ways. Yeah. Okay, that's the second point. Create value for people. The third one is in this age, zaman kita ni sekarang ni, make sure that you use data to help you decide. There's always a question, maybe it'll be the Q&A. Which one is, how do you decide? Is it data ataupun gut feeling? Yeah, because gut feeling is important. So some people will say gut feeling, some people will say data. For me, I believe in gut feeling very much, but I will find data to help validate my gut feeling. Going to YouTube was a gut feeling, to be honest, but with data, it supported it. So whatever you do, especially zaman sekarang, it's easy to do a survey, it's easy to go and meet people. You have Google Forms, you have SurveyMonkey, you have keywords, analytics, so many things, so many ways to get data. So use it. Okay? So data will help you decide what business you want to do. Gut feeling definitely is important. Data is important. So pandai-pandai lah measurekan benda tu. Okay, the next one is do what you love. I did mention just now, what are your values? In Digital Durian, I tell this to the team again and again. I tell myself again and again that after university, you go to work. And working life is 5 times a day. Working life is 5 times a week, 8 hours a day. Yeah, that's a lot of time. It's almost most of your living time after university will be at work. You like it or not, that's going to be the fact. Work or entrepreneurship, either one. In the end, it's still work. So, best case scenario, you do what you love. Yeah, if you want to become an animator, become an animator. If you like animation, if you like gardening, masuk dalam ni lah, agriculture. So, that's what I want to say here is, if you were to choose a career path, be it in entrepreneurship, be it in career, working with other people, for other people, which is, there's nothing wrong about that, which is great too. You will need, the best case is do what you love. And because the 8 hours a day spent at the office or on your business will be fun. So try and do what you love. Don't be super picky on it, but okay, let me just mundur sikit. Yes, some people, some lecturers or counselors tell me that budak-budak zaman sekarang ni memilih sangat lah. And maybe because people like me tell you like, do what you love. Okay, I don't want you to misunderstand this, okay? Do what you love and be damn good at it. Okay, if you're good at what you love, you'll be successful in your business or you'll be successful in your career. So it's not just that, oh, I like to do this, but you don't really show effort. You don't have passion doing it. So do what you love and really be really good at doing it. Okay? The next one is probably the last point, I think. Take the lead. People always ask me, when is the best time to do a business? There's no best time. Some people, for me, my journey was 3 years working, 3 different companies, opened a company, and I asked that question to one of my mentors then, during my last year of working, before I quit my job. Bagus tak kalau aku buka business sekarang ni? His answer to me was, Sinan, if you kerja lagi 5 tahun, dah baru nak berhenti kerja, imagine what your business will be like after 5 years. Yeah, that was very interesting. I took that in. But to be honest, after 5 years of business, what happened to me? I was still a failure. And I was still possibly not getting enough money to live every month. But it's okay, that was my journey. I wouldn't change anything about it. Can. So for me, there's no right answer to when to take the leap. You can take it now. Tak ada kerja. Ramai orang tak ada kerja sekarang. Find an opportunity. Raise money. Find a partner or do something. Or it can be go and work for people first. Like for me, that was a benefit because when I worked for people for 3 years and I know how hard it is to be in this industry, multimedia, and how hard it is to to work for somebody. I treat my people better now compared to other people, to other companies, because I have once been in their places. So there's no right and wrong answer to this. It's just when you feel you need to take the leap, of course, with all those other tips I mentioned before, right? Again, I'll tell you, which is not here, but I told you earlier, take feedback in, and at the same time, jangan kedekut idea. So if you have an idea, please don't keep it to yourself because you're scared to tell other people, and other people will take it from you. That's not how things work. Yes, it may happen. It has happened before. But if you really have passion in that idea, you will be the best in it. And this advice was given to me when I went to Silicon Valley. I went for a short course at Stanford University, and that's what the lecturer said. The culture here is when you have an idea, just share it, get feedback, build on it. If somebody wants to take the idea, you're already on a head start because you're doing it day in and day out. They've probably only heard of the idea. So don't worry about that. Okay? The last one is, I told you this one was the last. This is basically the last slide. Make wow. This is one of the core values in Digital Durian. And whatever you do, make wow. Make wow means giving value, actually giving even more value than people expect. So I'll end this slide with make wow. Just share. No. Make wow. Just do your best in life. Yeah. Be the best version of yourself. Be it you want to work with somebody, which is fine, which is great. Some people are not meant to become entrepreneurs. I can tell you that. But some people are meant to become entrepreneurs. There's nothing wrong about being an entrepreneur or not being an entrepreneur. In the end, it comes back to you, what you want to do in life. Are you happy doing what you do? And persisting on it. Doing your best, being the best version of yourself. Right? So that's my last slide. I'll just leave you on this slide. Again, my name is Sinan Ismail, the CEO, co-founder of Digital Durian. You can add me at Sinan Ismail on LinkedIn, or you can also follow me on Instagram. You can also search for Live at Digital Durian. That's where you can take a look at our Instagram and our company. And you can go to careers.digitaldurian.tv. We have some openings now. It's not all on animation. There's also on business side. There's also on digital marketing. So if you want to try, you can come and try and apply at our company. That's careers. I'll put it at the chat line. Careers.digitaldurian.tv. Yeah. So I think that's it. I'll stop my sharing. And thank you for listening. I think we are now open for Q&A. Right, so I'll go. There's also questions in the chat. Can you bring it to the Q&A, please? I think that would be better. Right. So the first question is there any government body or NGO that provide grant or loan to start digital business? Answer live. Yes, there are many. To be honest, it depends on what industry you're in. For animation, please look up IPCC, or if I'm not mistaken, they've renamed it to become DICE, the 50,000 ringgit grant. Apply for that if you're in animation. There's so many other. I don't know the other industries, but there are a lot of loans and grants out there. Malaysia is a very generous country, to be honest. in terms of helping businesses, startups. So do your best. Okay. Okay. Next one is, what sets DDM fans separately from other cartoons? Do you know what key points made them finally fund and produce the show? So for DDM friends, when we started, we were very unique in Malaysia, especially. That is what brought us up. Nobody was doing quality singing songs then, so we were the first, and that was how we kind of like easily grew. Now, are we still different in Malaysia? Yes, I think we're the number one, inshallah, in terms of a singing cartoon. Omar Rahanatu in an Islamic space. And do you know what key points made people fund us and produce a show? There's two answers. One is a great idea, which is DDM fans. Then number two is actually the person, the team behind it. So it's not just about the idea, to be honest. A lot of investors actually look into the people behind the idea. That's why I told you getting feedback, accepting feedback is very important. You go to an investor, and then he gives you advice, and then you go and say, oh, no, I think my idea is better because blah, 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 blah. You won't get the funding because that's not how things work. You will say, oh, okay, thank you for the feedback. And we'll go back and go to the drawing board and see if we can put that in. Okay, so the team is important. It's not just the product. Okay, and of course, all the other things, the organization, the marketing, semua benda lah. Yeah? All right, the next question from Aizat Aznal. How do I find a mentor as someone who's interested in entrepreneurship but never really delve into it? Okay, good question, definitely. Most of the entrepreneurs are busy people, yeah, but most of us also at the same time want to help and give back. So if you want to find a mentor personally, you need to earn it, to be honest. You need to have an idea, you need to share the idea, you need to convince the mentor, talk to the mentor nicely. And hey, I have this thing, could I meet you for a cup of coffee and get your feedback on it? Sometimes for me, even I will say yes. Sometimes I'll say no. It depends on the idea. If I think that I like it and I can give value, and I'll also look at your LinkedIn or your Facebook and say, oh, this guy, dia ni ada potential lah, and I want to help this person. But key point is, when you contact the people, you need to respect their time. Yeah. So you need to have a slide or something, an introductory, which makes yourself stand out from other people. And you need to be honest, and you need to respect those people punya time lah. So if you even do get a mentor, somebody says yes, make sure you show up on time. Very important. Surprisingly, to be honest now, I learned that people want to be approached. So me myself, I'm contacting people like Datuk Jake from dulu Astro. He's now the boss of CEO, I think, of Faith. I'm in touch with Faza from Fashion Valley, who's kind of like mentoring me too. So Alhamdulillah, just go out and try and ask, but be humble, but prove that you have a point to make, inshallah. Okay. Next question is from Kalvinder Singh. How can we find our passion in today's world? Wow. Okay. I don't know your passion. You know your passion. It's simple. For me, it's something which, when you do that thing, you're in the flow. And what does the in the flow mean? You can Google it up. In the flow means when you do something, and I believe a lot of you have been through this in this flow process, you forget about time. Suddenly, tengah buat benda tu, dah 3 jam, dah 3 hours doing this thing. When you do that, normally that thing is something you're passionate about. Okay? So you need to ask yourself that question, find your passion, And new passions can be created. It doesn't have to be something yang you need to try lah. Mungkin you have a passion in cooking. Maybe you haven't tried it before. So try and explore. Right? Next question. There's quite a lot of questions, so I'm doing it very fast. I want to try and answer all the questions if possible. How does a fresh grad start a business with little to no capital? Is idea and hard work alone enough? Yes, idea and hard work alone is enough. You have to have an idea, package it nicely in a slide or something, sell it to people. There's a lot of ways. You can crowdfund, you can pinjam duit mak ayah, you can get monies from your friends. I started with 8,000 ringgit. And that was from a freelance job. Then I quit my job. I only had 8,000 ringgit to sustain my life. Me and my partner. That was it. So you can do it, but please remember all my earlier points. Jangan shock sendiri. Validate the idea. Do all the things which I told you. Okay? Thank you, Isaac, again. Anonymous asker, how and where do you find data? Google. Google and audience. So I don't really have a really great answer for this. In my case, it was finding keyword search. So it was Google keywords. For other people, it may be finding data that people need a new deodorant, for example. So where do you get the data? And you find the problem. Is it a problem on the internet? Maybe. And then you do a survey, give it out to people. I mean, there's many ways of collecting data. You need to go and find it. The thing about data is the more you dig, the more you will find. And don't be shy in finding data, because if there is a problem and you approach people and ask people to help give data on finding a solution for that problem, you will be surprised that a lot of people actually want to help you. Okay. Next question from Jane Ang. Hi, can you briefly describe your work-life balance as an entrepreneur? How it is different from being an employee? Okay, thank you for the question. To be honest, a lot of people say that, oh, go to business, you have more time for yourself, you can chill, you can control your own time. Yes and no. To be honest, in reality is, after doing business, I was busier than even before I was working, to be honest. Even up until now, I have a team of 130 people. It's slightly better. I have a family, I have kids, I don't sleep at the office anymore, maybe once a year, twice a year, maybe. But work-life balance is very important, even in digital realm now. Like I told you, I've been working for people. So when I was working for somebody, pernah satu masa I was at the office for 8 days, tak balik rumah. In my company now, again, almost nobody sleeps at the office. Maybe once or twice a year maximum, right? So, but to answer your question, entrepreneurship takes a lot of man hours, a lot of hard work. So I expect the first 2 to 5, 6 years to be very time consuming. Yeah, but if you can manage your time well, inshallah. Okay, next question again from Jane Ang. Hi, what are 3 of the most important qualities of an entrepreneur? Passion, hard work, persistence, maybe? Hard work, persistence boleh sama lah. Passion, hard work and persistence, and data. And listening to your surroundings. Right? Shalini said, the question is, hi, tu je. Next one is anonymous. Hi sir, I want to be a netball coach. I'm really passionate with netball. That's great. I like to coach younger girls to be a good netballer. The netball market in Malaysia is not that big compared to Australia, New Zealand and England. I want to pursue this as a career. Can you give me some advice? I graduated with engineering degree. I love it. This is just my personal view. I love it that you are passionate with netball. You know what you want to do. I would pursue it, even though you have an engineering degree. Again, it's something maybe your parents, you need to discuss with them on that. But you need to know how to market yourself. One netball class per person. I mean, it's easy money to make. Probably in the first 6 months, you can make at least 2,000, 3,000 a month, and then you can build on that. Do the mathematics. I think it's something very possible. I know people who are swimming coach classes, swimming coach teachers. They don't do anything else. I think they're making a very good living. So I think that there is a way. Try to work with universities or maybe schools and offer your services to them. Just like how Taekwondo does it. Yeah, they have their persatuan and then they go to schools. So I think that there is a market there. I hope that answers your question. Next. Shalini, can you go one fast review on the slides? Wow, I don't think I can do that. I can, what I'll do is you can email my EA at result@digital